Welcome. Welcome to the Dray Way. You made it. How did you get here anyway? Why did you get here? I guess it really doesn't matter. The thing is, you're here. You're here at the Dray Way. And you are here at a really good time because I have a fun show for you today. So you stopping by, it's just lucky, I guess. So pull up a chair, grab yourself a Diet Coke or a sandwich, and hang out with me for a little while because we got some really cool stuff to talk about. So just sit back and relax. Let me do my show. Let's get started. Let's go! Welcome to the Dray Way. Yes. And I want to talk about Taco Trump. Taco Trump is, if you didn't see, Trump always chickens out. Yeah, the whole tariff thing that he was doing, the whole, well, I'm putting 100% on, I'm doing 50% on, blah, 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 doing illegal stuff, which, by the way, just so you know, a 3-judge panel, one judge by Reagan, one judge by Trump himself, and another judge by Biden, they all three said, yeah, this whole tariff nonsense, yeah, you have no say. Yeah, what you're doing is not legal. You need to stop immediately. So all of those, I declare a tariff. No, you don't. You declare squat. Yeah, you don't decide. And thank heavens you don't decide. Because Trump has been a nightmare. Trump has been standing in the way of American business. And if he just simply gets out of the way, what he doesn't understand is there is an entire revolution going on. But, this whole tariff thing and Taco Trump, which you should have seen the look on his face when he was called Taco Trump. Trump always chickens out. Trump was called a chicken right to his face in the White House. Do you remember that happening to another president being called a chicken right there in the White House? Because, yeah, Taco Trump. Trump always chickens out. But the good news is we don't have to worry about these tariffs anymore. It's over with. It's done. It's back in the hands of the legislature where it belongs. As we're finding out, one presidential order after another, just, yeah, they're unlawful and they don't make any sense. And for that reason, we're going to be able to move forward. Apple doesn't have to sit there and worry about a 25% tariff. Companies don't have to sit there and be at the whim of some crazy president. And that's basically what this all comes down to. Why do you want companies and businesses and countries at the whim of a nearly 80-year-old president? Yeah, the guy's about to turn 79. He's almost 80 years old. And like we've discussed before, they don't even put out the transcripts anymore of what he says because it's so embarrassingly bad. Yeah, if you actually, start to read what he actually says, you start to look around and be like, what are we doing? Why is this man in charge of anything? Because did you just read what he actually said? I mean, did you just read it? Yeah, it's because it's incoherent nonsense. He doesn't make sense whatsoever. He's talking, here he is doing a commencement speech for the military, and he's talking about trophy wives. And everybody's looking around at each other going, what in the hell is this man talking about? But, just so you know, We have over 3 more years of this. And the only good news is that next year during midterms, when Republicans get crushed, the presidency's over. Make no mistake about it. As soon as the Democrats take over the House, he is the lamest of lame ducks you will ever see. He will not pass a single thing. The House won't let him do anything because he's a danger to the country. He's a danger to the country because people that attacked this country, he just let them out of jail. He just said, you can go ahead and get out. Let me just put a pardon out there for you. He pardoned people that were supposed to be in jail 15, 20 years for planning and attacking the United States of America. Let me say that again. The president gave a pardon to people who were organizing to attack the United States. Now, if these weren't white people, what do you think would happen to them? What kind of sympathy do you think Donald Trump would have for non-white people? I'm just asking. Tell me what you think in the comments. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what you guys think. Because I think you and I both know that if these were, God forbid, people of Muslim faith, do you think they'd be getting out of prison? If these people were people of color, do you think they would be getting out of prison? I don't think so either. I don't think so either. But the good news is, folks, here we are. As you can see behind me, the skies are blue. It's a beautiful day. And business is going to be able to now focus on just doing business because the whole tariff threat is gone. The 3 judges made it very clear. Mr. President, your tariff claims mean nothing. But that doesn't mean that the damage that he's done isn't going to be significant. When do you think Canada is going to forgive us? How long do you think that's going to take? How many years of going back and forth and shaking hands and giving hugs is that going to take for Canada to trust us again? It's going to take years. It's going to take years. Because he did all of that damage in days. One crazy president can do a lot of damage in just a few days. Again, let me know what you think. I'm happy as can be the whole tariff thing is done. Because to have our stock market under the grip of a crazy man, that was no fun. But let me know what you think. Don't go anywhere. More Dray Way to come. Texas and Florida. I seem to have to talk about them all the time because they are 2 states that really, really, really suck. I mean, they are 2 awful states. Why people live in Texas right now, I have no idea. I'm watching the floods in San Antonio. I'm watching the golf ball size hail and sometimes larger in Austin, Texas. The storms that are going to be going through Lubbock today. I mean, just one storm after another. And I'm like, what are you people doing living there? I'm watching people lose their homes, cars, everything because giant balls of ice are falling out of the sky. And I'm sitting here in Henderson, Nevada going, you people are crazy. You're nuts. And then to make matters worse, Florida. Forget about hurricane season starting in a couple of days. Forget all about that. You know what they're getting before any hurricane? They're getting an African sandstorm. That's going to blanket the state over the next week. It's going to start sometime tomorrow. And for the next 6 or 7 days, African sand is going to cover the state. I don't know what else to do besides laugh. And I have to laugh because the situation is getting so dire in Florida. I mean, you're talking about just a complete crash in real estate. If you're trying to sell in Florida right now and you haven't discounted your prices significantly, I'm not talking about a 10,000. No. If you're trying to sell your home and you have 150,000 in equity, you better give up 30, 40,000 of it right now. You better cut your price, not by 10 grand, but by 30 or 40. You better drop your price hard and fast, because if you don't stand out in the marketplace right now, I promise you, over the next 60 days from now, nothing is going to be, nothing is going to be selling. And you're going to be sitting with that house for another year. Yep, you're going to have to wait till next selling season and keep your fingers crossed then. But if you're not greatly reducing, and condos in Florida, yeah, if you have a condo in Florida and the condo is built in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, you have nothing. You own nothing. You have a liability that you have to pay on. You have like a boat dock. You have a boat dock with no boat. You just have an expense. And that's what, if you think you have anything of value and your condo is from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you got a 45-year-old condo, good luck with that. You got a 50-year-old, yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. The value of your place is next to zero. Yeah. Your value is to have it torn down and have the land sold to a developer, because nobody wants to pay your payment. Nobody wants to buy a $300,000 condo that's 50, 60 years old and have to pay the HOA, have to pay the insurance, have to pay. Yeah, you got nothing. And I think people are starting to figure that out. I think people are starting to figure out that this is only going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. And it's time to bail. And for those of you that are trying to sell in Florida, forget the $5,000 and $10,000 price drops. You better be dropping significant. Whatever you're trying to sell your home for right now, drop it 10%. If you're trying to sell your house for $500,000, drop it to $450 right now. $450 right now. Boom. And you still may not sell it. But that tells you how bad the marketplace is down there. And that's why I continually feel like I'm doing something about Texas and Florida, and it's just because they are horrific places to live now. They're terrible places to live. And the storms that are going to go across the Midwest in the next couple of days, I feel sorry for those people, because we now have an administration that's not going to help you. You're on your own. You're living in places that are dangerous, and this government isn't going to help you, so you are on your own. When you have these significant storms and you live in Texas, you live in Florida, you live in a red state in Oklahoma, Nebraska. When you have significant damage and you try to claim insurance, good luck. Good luck. Insurance companies don't have to worry about you. They just got to worry about paying off politicians. It's cheaper. Why pay out billions of dollars if I can buy politicians for $100,000? You do the math. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the Dray Way here. I could use your help. So don't be shy. Subscribe. I'm here every day. You might as well hang out with me. Don't go anywhere. I have a final thought. My final thought of the day is, who is going out to buy a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 car right now? Who's doing that? If you must buy a new car, let me make a suggestion. I have a Volkswagen Tiguan. I just saw the new 2025 Tiguans. They're like $29,000. Go check out a Volkswagen Tiguan. This isn't a paid commercial. I just happen to have an older one, and I love it. I buzz around in it all the time. And I just saw the new 2025 that came out, and wow, it looks like fun, and it's really nice, and it's only $29,000. So why spend $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 on a car when you can get a really nice 2.0 Volkswagen Touran. Just take a look at them. Let me know what you think in the comments, because the car industry is about to get really interesting. Because if you don't know, the foreclosures are absolutely piling up. I mean, at first, a couple of months ago, the foreclosures were pretty steady. They're just pouring in now. There are so many millions of people behind on their car payments. They can't afford their cars. And it's no wonder they can't afford their cars. I mean, some of these have you seen some of the car payments people sign up for? $800 a month, $1,200 a month? Are you out of your mind? A $1,200 a month car payment? Oh my God. You better be living in that car to be paying $1,200. To me, that sounds crazy. But you'll notice over the next 12 to 18 months, just a flood of people turning over their cars because they just simply can't afford them. And with inventory piling up, what do you think that's going to do to prices? Yeah. Prices are going to, over the next couple of years, steadily go down and down and down and down. And let me tell you something. I don't know who these car companies are making cars for, but putting out $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 cars and pretending like those are for just common folk, they're not. That's why when I saw the Volkswagen Touran for $29,000, I was like, wow, that's a lot of car for $29,000. And Volkswagen puts out a pretty good product. So at least my Tiguan has been wonderful. So just a word of advice, just a final thought. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you have a final thought, put it down. Thanks for joining me on the Dray Way today. Don't forget, there's a new Dray Way each and every day. So stop by and hang out with me. Yeah, who knows what I'll be talking about tomorrow. Hopefully you'll join me tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.